Hi everyone, I'm Rondon. I'm a professional Apex Legends player and a coach, and welcome to a brand new series where I teach you how to effectively loot your drop spot and where to go after. For this video, the topic will be how to loot Skyhook West with trials. So essentially, you need one player on the trials. This will be the player that will be likely to take the golden knockdown, the golden backpack, or the shield. You have a Gibraltar, you have a Lifeline, you have a Newcastle. This is the type of player that goes there. Somebody that will be using those golden items so that you have to switch later. It doesn't really depend. If you don't have that guy, it doesn't really depend who goes in that case. When it comes to your actual Skyhook strategy, what you should be doing is you most likely will have another team in Skyhook East. What you should be doing is sort of faking. And so let's say the ship goes from the south. You sort of fake and go as much to the right as you can. Obviously, you can't really go, all the way to the east. You will probably be able to take this from Skyhook, realistically, right? Realistically, you can take this. Um, you could potentially try to, take as much. That is your goal, of course. Depends what kind of team is with you. Some teams, for example, they see that you're a duo. Maybe your third is already going to trials. They will even try to take it away from you. Maybe you'll be able to take only this, right? The goal is to take the most. Try to have all three people kind of faking it, right? But also making sure that they don't then switch to the west side. You sort of try to take the most out of Skyhook. Um, then you have one guy on trials and one guy on top here, one guy on the bottom here. Depends what you get. Usually you're able to get this building, and the one guy on trials. I'll probably do it with different colors. So number one, you start looting this building. You go this building, then you go market, loot through market, loot this, and then you loot that. Depends how much time you have left. You might be able to loot this building too. Really depends how fast you are and what you're actually able to get. The other guy from the number two loots the building he lands on, and then it's kind of intuitive, right? You could also, instead of going south, you could also go from the north here, right? But then, you kind of miss two buildings anyways. So usually you take the south side because the buildings are better. This has 3 floors. This has 2 floors worth of loot. These two, but the loot on the bottom buildings is usually better. And then you go to the diner and like this, and you miss only one building. So this is your loot path. The guy from trials doesn't do anything extra. You do the trials. You land on top, you open these bins, you do not go in the back, you do not go into this back, don't loot that, don't loot anything else, do trials, get out, and then your rotations, usually you have a crafter, you could take the crafter, you could start pushing the team on the east, but usually you'll be going for this balloon, and then trying to go towards the south, right? Depends where the beacon is. If you have the beacon might spawn here, might spawn over there, might be a beacon on that house. Really depends which beacon you want to take. You can take the beacon on Fisher, right? You could take the beacon on Landslide. So it really depends um, on what you like to do. This is your strategy to looting Skyhook. I hope this helped. These players, by the way, 1, 2, and 3 are interchangeable. Doesn't matter who does what, with the exception of the guy in trials. It should be the guy who would usually use the items so that you do not waste time later on. If you don't have that guy, just use the guy who has the most escapability, such as Wraith, Valkyrie, Loba, whoever can escape in case the team from Fisher decides to push. I hope that helped. Thank you guys for watching, and if anything, you have my DMs.